In Southeast Asia, there is a rule whispered from childhood. If you hear a woman crying loudly in the night, she is far away. If the cry is soft, she is already behind you. This is not a metaphor. This is the warning of the Pontianak. Across Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore, her name is spoken carefully, often followed by a prayer. She is not just a ghost story told to scare children. She is woven into the founding of cities, blamed for accidents on the highways, blamed for disappearances, blamed for screams echoing from banana trees and abandoned buildings. She is the spirit of a woman who died in childbirth and refused to move on. Tonight, we uncover the true story of the Pontianak, from her bloody origins to her terrifying appearances, and why, even in the age of smartphones and CCTV cameras, people still swear they have seen her. The founding of Pontianak cannot be separated from both geopolitical realities of 18th century Borneo and the powerful supernatural beliefs that shaped Malay society. At the time, Borneo was contested space. The Dutch East India Company sought to dominate trade, while Bugis warriors, Malay sultanates, and Dayak communities competed for control of river networks that carried gold, diamonds, and forest products. Power flowed along rivers, and whoever controlled them controlled wealth. Into this world emerged Syarif Abdurrahman Alkadrie, a Hadrami Arab noble who claimed descent from Prophet Muhammad. Raised in an environment combining Islamic scholarship and maritime trade, he strengthened his political position through marriage to Utin Kandramidi, daughter of the Bugis ruler of Mimpawa. Yet, by 1771, driven by ambition, he sought to establish an independent domain of his own. In October of that year, Syarif Abdurrahman led an expedition up the Kapuas River and halted at the confluence of the Kapuas Bisar, Kapuas Kisil, and Landak rivers. Strategically, the location was ideal. Spiritually, it was feared. The swampy delta was believed to be nesting ground for the Pontianak, a terrifying female spirit rooted in ancient Malay belief. The Pontianak was said to be born from tragedy, a woman who died during childbirth, often with her child stillborn. Her name derives from Perempuan Mati Biranak, a woman who died giving birth. Consumed by grief, rage, and jealousy, she was believed to haunt the living, driven by the loss of the child she never held. As night fell, Abdurrahman's followers reportedly heard shrieks and laughter, signs of the Pontianak's presence. Fear spread through the camp. Refusing to retreat, Syarif Abdurrahman ordered his cannons fired into the forest on October 23, 1771. In Malay belief, iron and thunderous noise could drive away malevolent spirits. The bombardment functioned as both exorcism and territorial claim. Where the cannonballs landed rose the Jami Mosque and the Qadriya Palace, marking the transformation of a haunted wilderness into an Islamic Malay polity, founded through the consequent of both political rivals and restless spirits. To understand reported encounters with the Pontianak, she must be recognized as a clearly defined figure in Malay folklore rather than a formless ghost. Known in Indonesia as the Kuntilanak, from Perempuan Mati Biranak, a woman who died in childbirth, and in Malaysia and Singapore as the Pontianak. She is rooted in tragedy and loss. Some traditions link her to the Langsuir, a related spirit considered more aristocratic and airborne, while the Pontianak herself is portrayed as feral, earthbound, and violent. The Pontianak rarely reveals her true form at first. She often appears as a beautiful woman with pale skin, long black hair, and flowing white dress, an image repeatedly described as mesmerizing. This beauty is bait. When she attacks, witnesses report blood red or hollow eyes, a mouth twisted into something inhuman, and long razor-like fingernails. Some accounts describe her back as hollow and rotting, crawling with maggots and exposing bone. Her presence is multisensory. Before she is seen, she is smelled. First, the sweet scent of frangipani flowers associated with graveyards. Then, sudden stench of decay. Sound follows: a laugh, a woman's cry, or an infant's wail. Folklore warns, if the sound is soft, she is dangerously close. The Pontianak is driven by envy of the living and hunts two primary targets. Pregnant women are believed to be at greatest risk, as the spirit seeks to steal unborn children to replace the one she lost. This fear gave rise to protective customs, including carrying iron objects such as scissors or knives, believed to repel her. Men are her second prey. She lures them into isolated areas by appearing vulnerable or seductive, then reveals her true form and tears them apart, often disemboweling them in acts of rage directed at the gender she blames for her death. Paradoxically, folklore also grants the Pontianak a vulnerability. Driving an iron nail into a specific point, usually the nape of her neck or the crown of her head, suppresses her demonic nature. She becomes human, gentle, obedient, and silent. Many true stories recount men marrying such women, yet every tale ends the same way. When the nail is removed, the Pontianak returns to her true form, laughing and screaming as she disappears into the night. Few places in Indonesia inspire as much fear as the Casablanca Tunnel in South Jakarta. Built in 1990s, the tunnel cuts directly through land that once served as the Mintang Pulo Public Cemetery. During construction, rumors spread that many bodies were relocated hastily and without proper burial rituals. One corpse in particular, a woman said to be wearing a red dress, was allegedly disturbed or left behind. From this emerged the legend of Red Kuntilanak. In other words, Kuntilanak Merah. Unlike the traditional white-clad spirit, this entity is aggressive, territorial, and openly hostile. Some say she was raped and murdered on the site. Others believe she died by suicide. Her red clothes symbolizes uncontrollable rage. A ritual developed among Jakarta motorists. Drivers entering the tunnel at night honk their horns 3 times as a sign of respect. Those who fail to do so are said to suffer accidents. Survivors often report seeing a woman in red suddenly appear in the road, causing them to swerve into the tunnel walls. Paranormal investigators have even claimed to see her pacing the tunnel, watching for those who pass without acknowledgement. In Indonesia's gig economy, the Kuntilanak has found new access to the living. Online motorcycle taxi drivers frequently share dashcam footage and GPS screenshots of disturbing encounters. One widely circulated story involves a driver in Yogyakarta who accepted an order near a bamboo forest. A woman in white climbed onto the bike. The motorcycle became unnaturally heavy. She spoke not a word. Upon reaching the destination, often a cemetery gate, the weight vanished. The passenger was gone. In some versions, the spirit pays in cash. Later, the money transforms into dried leaves or Jaws paper. These stories function as modern cautionary tales, warning drivers navigating liminal spaces at night. In Kuala Lumpur, Karak Highway winds through dense jungle and has long been associated with fatal accidents. Drivers report encountering a yellow Volkswagen Beetle moving slowly in the fast lane. When overtaken, the car is either empty or the driver sees a Pontianak staring back. Moments later, the Beetle reappears ahead. The most infamous story involves a stranded couple. The husband leaves to seek help. Police later arrive and instruct the wife to exit the car and not look back. When she does, she sees a Pontianak on the roof, feeding on her husband's severed head. Others describe a white cloth flying beside their car at full speed, revealing itself mid-flight as a grinning Pontianak. Malaysia also experiences recurring outbreaks of mass hysteria in rural boarding schools. Dozens of students scream, faint, and convulse simultaneously. These episodes are often attributed to a Pontianak entering the dormitories, allegedly drawn by ritual impurity. Bomoh-led cleansing rituals are commonly sanctioned to restore calm. Widely regarded as Singapore's most haunted site, Old Changi Hospital was once a Japanese torture center during World War II. Explorers report Pontianaks lurking in banyan trees, surrounding the ruins, scratching visitors or following them home. Anthropologists like Timo Duil describe the Pontianak as the abject, the chaotic force cast out to allow civilization to define itself. In the founding myth of Pontianak city, she embodies the pre-Islamic wilderness that must be violently expelled for the Sultanate to exist. She is the ultimate other, against which order and patriarchal authority are measured. She also represents the monstrous feminine, the failed mother, the uncontrollable women, and the subversion of domesticity. The myth of the Paku or nail symbolizes patriarchal control. Only when forcibly subdued does she become docile. Remove the nail and her ferocity returns. The Pontianak is tied to the land she haunts. Her name is linked to Pohon Tinggi or tall trees, and her attacks often follow deforestation or urban encroachment, from the Sultan's Delta clearing to modern highways. In this sense, she is nature's retaliation, a spectral reminder that human development comes at a spiritual and ecological cost. The legend blends Islam with older animist beliefs. While repelled by the Adhan or Quranic verses, she is also vulnerable to iron nails or thorns. This syncretism allows the Pontianak to remain relevant, a demon to resist, not a deity to worship, bridging tradition and modern religious practice. The true stories of the Pontianak are layered fears accumulated over 3 centuries. At the base is history. Sultan Syarif Abdurrahman Alkadrie, who in 1771 gazed upon a dark mangrove delta and saw a kingdom where others saw only ghosts. His cannon salvo was a declaration of muscular modernity, a claim that the Malay world could impose order upon the unseen through force. Above this lies folklore, the Kuntilanak, a mother-turned-monster embodying anxieties around birth, death, and female power. The nail in her neck is a stark symbol of patriarchal desire to subdue the uncontrollable. Finally, there is the contemporary layer. The Pontianak rides in grab cars, haunts Jakarta underpasses, and races alongside cars on the Karak highway. Modernity has not banished her. She has adapted, colonizing urban spaces and digital liminality. Across centuries, she endures the shadow between city and jungle, the living and the dead, always thinner than it seems.